So the world, yep, major completion of a life cycle going on for you guys. If you have a look at this person, she's kind of sat on top of the world, right? And I always say that this is a successful completion. You've successfully completed, you've done whatever you needed to do for that cycle. And whenever I say that to clients, they always say to me, but everything's crap. I'm sat in, nothing's going on. I don't have this, I don't have that. That's not what the kind of energy that the world talks about. It's where we've done everything that we can do in that cycle. We've learned everything. We've gotten the most out of it. Now it's done. This doesn't talk about, well, it can talk about endings before I go ahead and say it doesn't, but that's not what the main energy of it is. It can come about that, because we're done with the situation, we decide to leave that job or that relationship or that, but that's our own choice. The card itself doesn't indicate that. It indicates at an energetic level, one cycle has completed. Now that can mean that there's fresh energy coming into a situation, a brand new cycle that's about to begin within a situation, whether that's a relationship, a job, but this is a transitional energy, so it doesn't happen overnight. The thing with the world is, a lot of us expect it'd be great if the cycle ended tonight and we got to begin something new tomorrow. But it kind of says, you've climbed that mountain, enjoy the view for a moment because you're about to get going again. So this can be a little frustrating when we feel like we've got one foot in the past, one foot in the future, and we're kind of stuck in the middle somewhere and we're getting ready to go again when the world shows up. But good job. When the world shows up, it means you've successfully completed that cycle. Now, at the heart of your reading, we have the Hermit, the card for Virgos. I don't know if some of you are dealing with Virgos, but the Hermit card talks about inner reflection. Like you take a step back, and it might be that you're kind of pondering on, wow, look at what I went through. Look at what I did with this. And where do I want to go next? What do I want to begin next? The Emperor seems to be answering that, but the Hermit is not a card of being lonely. We can hermit mode it in a group of people. We can be surrounded by people all the time and still take on the Hermit energy. The Hermit never looks for answers outside. That's the main energy of this. It's a very spiritual energy. Because if you look here, the Hermit, she sat on this kind of cliff, but there's nothing around her really to give her answers. All she has with her is her lantern that has a star in it, the star of hope. So it's her hope now. What the Hermit says is, it's a self-empowering card. It's like you have the power to change this. You have the power to dictate or to decide where we go next. And I say that even with 4 major arcana cards out of 6 coming up in your spread. Major arcana energy is the energy that happens to us. It can be opportunities that come up around us, and then we have to decide what we're going to do with it. And I kind of feel like you're doing the hermit mode thing or trying to figure out what you want to do next, because things might be feeling like they're shifting for the first time in a long time, because we have Temperance coming up as the past energy. Now, yes, Temperance is the card of patience, of keeping the balance. If you have a look here, she's pouring liquid from one cup to the other. Card for Sagittarius, so we have Sagittarius energy coming in here. But yes, Temperance says patience. So some of you have had patience for a while. You've been hanging in there, trying to complete some stuff, wrap up things. And this is a repeat message that keeps coming out for everyone. Wrapping up either things at work, what you want to do with your career, your love life, family, friends, whatever's been going on. You've been tying things up, getting all of that completed and done. Now, Temperance, as much as nobody likes to be told to be patient, no one likes to be told to wait. But Temperance says that for a reason. It does say, the whole thing of divine timing. But why is there such a thing as divine timing? Nobody likes divine timing. Yes, we know we all hate divine timing. But why? Well, if you said to me, say you wanted a dream car. So you had a dream car that you wanted. I don't know. You said to me, Jay, I want a Ferrari. Can you get me a Ferrari? Now, I might just say to you, here, have it. Yes, and I'm the universe in this example. But yeah, so I could give you a car, but you might not know how to drive it. So Temperance tells you, get everything balanced out. And that's what we don't like, because we want to focus on that one thing that we want. But a lot of the time, and I talked about this in a recent podcast, the team that we have, even if we want love, we want a love life. If you don't have healthy relationships with your friends and family, you're not going to have a healthy love life. And I've had people before in comments say things like, oh, well, I don't need any more friends. I want a lover. Well, honey, if you don't know how to be a friend, you can't be a lover. That's kind of what the Temperance card says. It's that bring balance to all areas of your life. What if you have a really crappy work situation? Getting a boyfriend or getting a wife is not going to fix that. In fact, you're probably going to bring home the problems from work and ruin the relationship. So temperance serves us. It's about bringing balance to your life in all areas of your life. And Scorpio, this is coming up as a foundational past energy. You have been doing that. You have been doing that. And that's why you've successfully completed this. You've been kind of bringing balance to all areas of your life. Where does that leave you? Well, it leaves you with the Empress energy in the present. I love your reading, Scorpio. I absolutely love it. The Empress is about, the Empress, sorry, is about, what am I saying? Empress. The Empress is about abundance, growth. Let's grow this thing. Let's, make more. We want more of this. Now I'm ready to expand. Now I'm ready to grow. Now, if you have a look here, she looks pregnant because this can be about pregnancies. Maybe some of you have wanted to become a parent or to expand your family, and you had to get your finances in order, buy the right house, get in the right relationship to do that kind of stuff. Now you're ready. But the Empress is about abundance in all areas. So it can be, financial abundance, emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, romantic abundance. Whatever you want more of, you can get when the Empress shows up. She is about new beginnings. And, we have the World here. So this is about, you've completed whatever you were doing, you've completed. Temperance. I can't even speak. I'm saying Empress and Tempress. Going crazy. So whatever you've balanced everything, and now you're going towards expanding, growing something new. But, where does this lead? If you can do this, like the Empress, she gives birth to it. So you might be coming up with new ideas. Maybe that's why I don't see the Hermit as a lonely card here. This is more like, okay, well, what are we going to do? What plan are we hatching? What is it that I truly want? What do I want to grow? What have I learned from this time of bringing balance to my whole life? And, this doesn't mean your life's perfect, because trust me, no one's life is ever going to be perfect. It might be for about 10 minutes and then something else comes up and you go deal with that. But this is about getting it to, you've given attention to all those different areas, and now you're ready to grow. Now you know where growth is possible. And this is about planning. This is about, this is manifesting. You do this. You grow things. Where does that lead? Well, it leads to the Nine of Cups, which is the wish card. And yeah, it is saying that, Scorpio, that you get your wish. The Nine of Cups is your heart's desire. You get your heart's desire. But it's like you're sowing the seeds of that in April yourself with the Empress. You're sowing those seeds. You're growing it. If you have your own business, it might be now that you're looking to expand. Because whatever restrictions were on you, whatever cycle you were completing, you've done. With work, you might be taking on more work. If it's your love life, like I said, you can become a parent. There might be more love. The Empress is very attractive. She's very attractive. Now, yes, that can be that you get a lot of offers at this time because people find you very attractive. But what does attractive actually mean? It means to be able to attract to yourself whatever you want. Very solid, strong going forward, new beginnings coming up here, which, lead to your wish, whatever your heart's desire is. But remember this is what we see going forward. Obviously, when you're growing things, expanding things, attracting things to yourself, you have an idea of what it's going to look like. And the warning of the Nine of Cups is be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. So yes, the Hermit serves you here because you take a minute to think, well, how is this empowering for me? How is this empowering me? How can I go forward and do this? Now, what's the advice here? The advice here is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups to me here, it can talk about regret, can talk about missed opportunities rather. But I'm kind of getting it because it's under Temperance, right? And it kind of feels like what you kind of feel like you're doing here is you're looking back at something that you might have missed out on when you were taking care of this. So, you might have had a lot of work on, but you were having to deal with work and someone wanted to start a relationship with you, but you had to say no to it with that Five of Cups. Or, while you were trying to balance everything out, get yourself balanced even, trying to figure out what you wanted, who you were, other opportunities came out and you missed out on them, because the Five of Cups can talk about regret and missed opportunities. However, I do feel like the advice, because all of the cards have advice, right? And the Five of Cups advice is, yes, whatever it was that's been lost, and you might have lost support while you were off doing this. Maybe that's why the Hermit's here, that you've withdrawn from a Three of Cups situation, which those three cups, that represents the Three of Cups to me. And the Three of Cups is support. So, the network of support that you have, the people that you love and support and they love and support you. You might have lost friends over this. You might have lost people that you thought they were there for you and they aren't. But what it says is, yes, like always honor your emotion, grieve, work through that grief, work through the loss that you feel, but then turn away, because look what is behind her, 2 cups coming in. And that means there is still support there for you. It may not be in the way that you see, but there is support here. You know, sometimes it's that thing that we can, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, and you come out the other end of the tunnel and you come out and you realize, oh my God, I'm alone. Like, you know, that other people are still stuck in the tunnel, but there's going to be fresh support there for you. That's what I'm getting from that. So in the 5 of Cups, the 2 cups that are coming in at the back, if that's friendship, support, you know, family, friends, whatever, our network of support, the 3 cups, that is like the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups, it's a relationship of support, right? A deep, profound connection that we have with someone. Kind of feels like you guys had to go off to go and do something. It may be a partnership at work, right? But I'm going to go with the romantic angle. You guys apply it to whatever area yourself. It's a general reading. But we have the Lovers coming up here. Now, the Lovers to me talks about the illusion of distance. I think with the 5 of Cups, there's a sense that you've missed out on something, or that a relationship, especially with the Lovers coming up, that there is distance here. But this is also distance between you and what you love. It doesn't just have to be a person or a relationship. It can be something that you love. And you feel like maybe you've had to make some head decisions. You've had to deal with a lot. Like, look at this. You've had to deal with a lot. And now you're ready to expand, and you're wondering that, you know, have I missed out on that opportunity once and for all? And I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, the 2 of Pentacles to me is usually about, you know, practical choices and decisions that we're having to make. But it's asking us to look at the bigger picture. But in this sense, I'm kind of getting that this is, you can make this work. You know, weigh up the pros and cons, see where you want to go. Look at what you're doing, and you've done that. I think that's what the 2 of Pentacles is coming up. It's saying that you've already done this. You already know what's going to serve you and what isn't going to serve you. So it's looking now at the details, because the Pentacles to me sound like the details of a situation, the details of how do we progress this forward. Because this is very big energy, but this is kind of more looking at the details of something, not looking at the bigger picture, but looking at what is it that I want out of this, maybe out of this partnership. This can be a business partnership, or who do I want to work with? Now you have 2 5s here, right? So we have the 5 of Cups and we have the 5 of Wands. Sorry about that light. So this is internal conflict. This might be competition that you go up against. I don't see anything to show that you can't do it. Not with all of this major arcana energy, not with you coming up as the Empress there. Some of you might be dealing with an older female, or you might be the older female. An advisor, this could be someone who advises you. But the 5 of Wands, it's that conflict. And when we get 2 5s, I always call them the agents of conflict, right? 5s happen, they can be very intense when we go through 5's energy. So this could be intense emotional stuff that comes out of nowhere about some loss in the past. This can be some internal conflict, like, really? Can I really have what I wanted? Are the brakes off now? Because this is like the universe putting the brakes on you, saying, whoa, hold your horses for a moment. And now you're kind of going forward, and it's like, it can be a little bit disorienting, right? Like you've been sat in the dark for so long, and now someone's opened up the windows, the curtains, and let the light in. It can be a little blinding for a moment. But when the 5s come up, that's when real change happens. And honestly, if I didn't see all of this, I would have said, oh yeah, I don't think this is going to be that intense for you. Not really. Not with the Lovers, the Empress, the World, the Hermit, Temperance. Look at what you've already gone through. Look how empowered you are. This is about understanding. What have I not been through? Why could I not go forward? I can have whatever I want. I can give birth to whatever I want. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So whatever it is that you're feeling, and it might be, there could be a relationship there, new feelings within a relationship. I think especially for those of you that have this internal conflict about wondering if you've missed out on a chance or an opportunity. I don't think you have. Whether it's with that person or with another person, the Lovers does say that it's an illusion of distance. So if you're in a long distance relationship, I don't know, some of you might, someone else moved away. I'm getting that for some of you, that they moved away and you were left sorting this stuff out. Now you can go, and it doesn't even have to be, I don't mean going back to anyone. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be that. Maybe you had a chance to date and to start something new with someone before, and you didn't take it because there was too much else going on. But things are clearing up now. Now you can do it. Let's see. What do we have from the Whispers of Love? Love endures. Love endures. I can't speak, Scorpio. I've done everyone else. I pronounced everything correctly. Now I can't talk. All right. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Now, love does last. You know, our ability to love endures. It doesn't have to be, like I said, for some of you, it's going to be, of course, you know, situations happen all the time, but I'm very careful in the way that I say it, because I don't want to tell every single person out there who's waiting to reconnect with someone that you're going to do that. Your ability to love endures. Like, you take that energy into your life and apply it how you will. But all is not lost. And the thing is, if you're looking at the 3 cups that are lost, those 3 cups are gone. You're not getting those 3 cups back. There's 2 cups that are still there. All is not lost. That's what it's saying. Something has been lost with the 5 of cups. And maybe that's what the internal conflict's coming from, that I missed out on something before. Am I going to miss out on this as well? The answer to that is no. Not with the Empress there, not with the Lovers there. By the book. I think Libra just got this as well. So by the book, this is, you know, what's the rule book that you're following? This is the card of the Hierophant for me. So it's like, what are we conforming to? What are we committing to? What are the traditions? Sometimes, yes, we have to follow the rules, and sometimes we throw the book out and we create a new one for ourselves. Like I did say, the Hermit is a very spiritual energy. So it kind of feels like you've come to some kind of understanding about your situation. That's why you went through Temperance, because it gave you this broader understanding of what's going on. Why can you now focus on the details, on 2 things, like weighing up the pros and cons? Because you already know what the bigger picture looks like, because you've gone through that. Okay, dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up and start that hustle towards your goals and dreams. I will say that, yes, with the 9 of Cups there coming up in the future. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. Now is the time to make that first move, say yes to life, pick up the phone, make that decision, and take that one step toward the gods or us. Expect a cascade of changes, good news and opportunities to show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. Take positive action towards your dreams. Even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda, it will all be orchestrated by spirit and arrive in divine appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. And that's what I'm even getting, like, for this, yes, it can be a constraint on you sometimes, right? Like, you know, the rules that you have to follow. But I don't see that. I feel like more this is the book that you've written. Like, you know which way to go now. You know how you feel. Your ability to love has endured. Like, you know, you can go in. You've successfully completed a cycle. I don't know which other sign it was, but I was talking about getting your house in order. You guys have your house in order. You're just trying to figure out what your next step is. And your next step is toward your dreams and to your wishes.